What it do, y'all? It's your boy Coffrey with an update and newly released information that's come out of a deputy-involved murder of a black man. But first, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel out a lot. You know I try to give y'all the real facts, news, and shit they don't give us on the news. I reported a police shooting of a black man about a year ago. Daniel Mitchell Young Jr. to be exact. He was 47 and was murdered in the early hours of October 15th, 2020 by the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. He was one of 4 murders of black men in just a few months, if you guys can recall. Dijon Kizzy, Fred Williams, Dana Mitchell Young Jr., and Big Sam, based off Debo from the Ice Cube Friday series, was killed right here on Van Ness and Van Wyck. We now know that they have old gangs dating back to the 1980s, if not later, in the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. And this is how they get initiated in. They allege that Dana kidnapped a woman from 103rd and Fed and robbed her of $100 and tried to rape her. Black people from LA know how the police lie and get prostitutes to lie for them as well. They allege that after a short pursuit from 127th and Budlong, the parking ride on Vermont and Imperial, where they retrieved the woman, that he took off again to a dead end on 108th and Vermont next to Woodcrest Elementary, where he crashed his vehicle. Most likely he didn't know the area, which gave sheriffs the perfect opportunity to ambush our brother. He then got out of the truck, tried to run, had his mask in his hand, which the deputy, Kevin Walker, said he thought was a gun. Used that as a reason to shoot Dana, and shot 8 times, hitting him 4 to 6 times, killing him at the scene. Kevin Walker has a documented past and a long rap sheet, and is being sued along at least 5 other deputies for beating and choking another black man in Inglewood, Christopher Bailey, who will now be blind in one eye as a result of his injuries from the beating.
The attorneys for Christopher Bailey said that the sheriff's deputies did not have body-worn cameras at the time, but a couple of bystanders did shoot cell phone video of what happened after what they call a brutal beating. Now, Bailey and his attorneys want criminal charges filed against the deputies. We want to warn you that some of the images you're about to see may be disturbing.
I was screaming out. I wanted to live. I really feared for my life. I thought I was going to die.
37-year-old Christopher Bailey describes what happened to him just after 2 a.m. on May 4th, 2020. Bailey works for a company that sorts mail for the U.S. Postal Service, and as he was on his way home, he was pulled over for straddling the lanes along Prairie Avenue in Inglewood. Bailey's attorney says he complied when deputies asked him to get out of his vehicle.
And it was at that point that the deputies started to beat him. They claimed that he was resisting arrest.
Haramia says Bailey never resisted and was unarmed during the assault, which started with the 2 deputies that pulled him over. She says eventually a total of 8 deputies were involved. 7, she says, caused injuries to Bailey.
Look at his face. Oh my God. He doesn't even look human.
Bailey's attorney says 2 bystanders shot this cell phone video of the aftermath.
He had taser burns to his body near his groin area. He was placed in 2 choke holds, and he was pummeled to the face. He's got lifetime injuries. He's unable to see in his left eye.
I have multiple surgeries coming up. I have trauma. I'm still scarred from these actions.
Bailey's attorneys have filed a civil rights lawsuit for excessive force and now want the sheriff's department and the deputies held accountable.
This was just a beatdown. This was a gang-like beatdown of a black citizen.
I really can't put into words how I feel and what I've been going through. This is absolutely the worst beating unjustly that I have received.
Daniel Mitchell Young Jr.'s family is now suing the Los Angeles Sheriff Department and the city. They want Kevin Walker charged for murder and fired from the police department.
October 15th, 2020, the sheriff by the name of Kevin Walker assassinated my son. We had a real special bond. It was not a time that I saw him that he did not bring flowers to me. My son was running away. He was shot 4 times. Kevin Walker has a documented history of brutalizing civilians. Just 5 months before the killing of my son, Kevin Walker was part of a brutal beating, choking. They tased Christopher Bailey so badly that he will be blind in one eye. We have been fighting tirelessly for answers and transparency. Just being able to identify his body took weeks. We didn't even know that he had been shot in the back of the head.
But here in Los Angeles, we know that's a long shot. P. Coffrey, Los Angeles, the Pan Af Report.